Hello, Coach Phill here. Welcome again to your Momentum Series episode number 2. And today we're talking about self-discipline. Hey, without self-discipline, guess what? 2017 is going to be a much harder year. But also, without self-discipline, we will not be able to achieve. So I'm here today to talk about self-discipline because in all the studies that have been done with all the top guys who are performing at the highest level, self-discipline is up there with clarity of mind in terms of the skills you must have in order to achieve your goals. So in this episode, I'm going to share with you the characteristics of self-disciplined people. Most importantly, I will share with you at least 6 pointers, 6 ideas, only 6 ideas that if you begin to implement today to take yourself discipline to the next level, you will get on the way to achieving your goals. You will make this year an epic year. I mean, think about it. It is so easy to talk about success, isn't it? There's so many people out there, they talk about success, but talking is easier than doing. And the difference between the people who talk and the people who do is self-discipline. Self-discipline is where you say you're going to do something and you stick to it and you do it until you find success, until the end. This is where you decide, hey, these are the important things that are going to happen. This is what I have got to do. Now, self-discipline, everybody talks about, hey, I'm going to be able to do this, I'm going to be able to do this, I'm going to be able to do this, but they get to that October feeling, the one I'm talking about, where they're like, hey, I haven't achieved it. 99% of the time, they started and never finished. They started and didn't have the consistency. They started and they didn't see themselves through. Why? Lack of self-discipline. So, let me tell you about the characteristics of people who are self-disciplined. And the correlation is that the most self-disciplined people are actually the people who get things done. They're the most successful people. All kinds of studies have proven great discipline inevitably gets you to great success. Discipline equals success. Discipline equals power. Now, before we get into the characteristics, I just want to ask you a question. Do you have your number one goal desire very clear up here in your mind? Have you decided what that one thing is that you're going to go after this year, that you're going to give everything, your heart, your soul, everything? That one thing that excites you, where you know what, if I get this done, it has a ripple effect, it has a domino effect on all other areas of my life. Because without that, my friend, it is going to be hard. So the characteristics of the people who have great self-discipline, number one, they have clarity on their purpose. They have clarity on their goal. They know exactly what it is they have to work on. The question then comes, are you clear with what your goal is? Are you clear with exactly what you want to achieve? Because without that clarity, you don't have power. Without that clarity, you can't plan. Without that clarity, you don't have anywhere to start. So do you have clarity? With that in mind, here, let's go into the into the 6 self-discipline characteristics of the people who are the most successful via self-discipline. Number 1, they have a sense of purpose. There comes again, clarity. They have a strong sense of purpose. They know why they're here. They know why they're doing what they do. Every part of their day is designed to get them what? To do that one thing. They know that, hey, I am doing this for the big goal. I am doing this for what? For making sure that I can achieve my goals, desires, my goals, things. Number 2, they seek out and use positive role models. They have a discipline to look out for those people who are performing at the highest order. I was looking at a study, I think by Stanford University, where they looked at some of the old golden warriors and Alexander and people like that, and they found that everyone who was great at what they were doing at that time, they had a positive role model. Most importantly, they seek them out and they follow them, they study them. They have the discipline to do it consistently. My question to you would be, do you have some role models, positive role models? Do you have some people who you seek out, who you know what, that guy is doing what I would like to do, and then go after them and then do whatever it takes to learn from them? Okay? The next one is they have strength of imagination. Now this was quite interesting when I was studying, in that self-disciplined people have got a vivid mindset in terms of the goal, in terms of the desires. It is so rich. They have colors. When they go into thinking about their goal, thinking about what they want, it is so vivid. They know how it's going to feel. They know the colors. They can smell it. They have a strong sense of imagination. What kind of imagination do you have? Is your goal clear? Have you seen it before you realize it? You've had very well, how many times have you had as a man thinketh? So I say, you cannot see outside of you what is not you. We cannot achieve a dream if we haven't seen it up here before. Are you disciplined enough to be able to get deep and say, you know what would it look like? Imagine it, write it down, put the colors, put the way you feel, get emotionally attached to it. Disciplined people, great self-disciplined people have that as one of their aspects. Next one, ladies and gentlemen, they do not consider failure as an option. They know that, guess what? I am pursuing this with the discipline in my mind, knowing, hey, it is going to happen, whatever it takes. They just keep going with that mindset of knowing, you know what? Failure is not an option. Next one, ladies and gentlemen, they have the ability and desire to figure things out. In their mind, they know, if I don't know it now, I will figure it out. I will learn it. I will look for the skill. I will do whatever it takes. They have the discipline to know, you know what? If it is humanly possible, then it is up to me. I will go and make it happen. The next one, ladies and gentlemen, is they have this ability of not being intimidated by time. They are extremely patient. They know that, you know what? Nothing happens overnight. I got to put in the work. I got to do whatever it takes to make sure that I get there. They know up here, if it is to happen, then it is up to me. So they grind. They do what they have to do. Why? That is the kind of discipline that is required for us to achieve the goals that we ought to achieve. If you're pursuing something and you're in a hurry, what usually happens? The mistakes are going to be too many. You're not going to be patient enough to see yourself to the end goal. You're not going to be patient enough to see yourself through the hurdles, through the little challenges, to make sure you get to the finished goal. So they have that ability. Next, they have persistence as part of what they do. Again, it might be a little bit connected to the one before this. They're very patient, but most importantly, they persist on ensuring they get there. If they believe it's going to work, they have the discipline to stick with it until it happens. They will not give up. And then final characteristic, ladies and gentlemen, is they have this ability to experience pleasure along the way. They enjoy the process. They have pleasure in doing what they do. These are the people who say, hey, you know what? It's not a job anymore. It is a pleasure of love. It is something that I love to do. The discipline to be able to do that is what differentiates success and failure. So there you have some characteristics of the people who have great self-discipline, therefore they achieve more. So in this Momentum series, my question to you would be, hey, go through those and ask yourself a question. How am I showing up on those ones? How patient am I? How clear am I with my goal? Am I willing to pay the price? Am I doing whatever it takes? Do I realize that time is actually going to be on my side? Do I realize that I've got to put in more than usual, more than normal? Do I also realize that it is important to enjoy the process, to enjoy the journey? Why? Self-disciplined people actually take time out to, if they do something and it is great, they go and celebrate. They will, they will include something called social reward, where they'll say, you know what, I finished a great chapter to my book. Hey, I'm going to take you for lunch. Why? Because they know that psychologically begins to build a good feel factor. It then gives them more momentum to come in and do what they have to do. So, question is, again, go through those characteristics and ask yourself a question. How am I showing up on a scale of 1 to 10? And then, after that, do whatever it takes to level up. Do whatever it takes to do what you have to do to begin practicing that. I cannot emphasize enough, ladies and gentlemen, self-discipline is going to be what differentiates 2016 from 2017. You and me know, down deep inside, you and me know, the reason that we might not have had the greatest 2016, or the reason that we have not achieved our desired goals, is lack of self-discipline. And I want to challenge you. I want to ask you that question that only you can answer. The man in the mirror has the right answer. I want you to have that conversation and say, hey, where have I not been self-disciplined? Where have I let myself down? And It is not about leaving yourself down there. It is about knowing, hey, you know what? I can make this happen. I realized I was not doing what I needed to do, but guess what? I'm in the business of getting better, because 2016 is going to be a better year. Which brings me to, hey, how about I share with you the 6 things that you can do to take your self-discipline to the next level, to begin to become a self-disciplined person, so that, guess what? We begin to enjoy 2016 together. We begin to do what we ought to do, so that we can have self-discipline and freedom, most importantly, the success that you and me deserve at the end of the year. So if you're ready with your pens, here we go. Number 1, again, we start with the first major thing. The people with the greatest clarity are the people with the least drama in their life. The people with the greatest clarity are the people with the least drama. They don't have time for nonsense. They don't have time for gossip. They don't have time for, fights. No, they're very clear. Self-discipline is about that clarity in life, to know, you know what? Boom. I know exactly what I'm going to go for, and this is what I'm going to do for the next however much time. Then the actions and the planning that is required becomes easier. Number 2, in terms of building your self-confidence, is you must get emotionally engaged with everything that has got to do with your dream. You must get emotionally engaged with your goals, with your dreams. When I say emotional engagement, it must be something that when you talk about, you light up. When you talk about, if you find someone who's emotionally engaged and has got the self-discipline to do what they have to, they talk about it and you see them come alive. It's like me right now. You can tell I'm alive. Why? I am so engaged in producing these videos for you. Why? It is important that together we can create the momentum for 2017. So you must get emotionally engaged in your dream, in your goal. Let it be what what you're about. Let it be that, you know what, every day, every morning when you get up, every morning of your life, you are 110% engaged in that dream. That is self-discipline at its highest level. Next one, ladies and gentlemen, they visualize positively every day. They visualize. It is not a compromise. It is a routine. I was listening to Tim Ferriss and his newest book, and they asked him, what are those things that some of the highest performers in the world do? One of the things that is cross-cutting across all these top performers is they have a form of visualization. Every morning, they take time to visualize their dream, their goal. What will it feel like? How will it sound? How will it taste like? They have this dream of, it is so vivid. They can write it down for you in pictures, and it is so clear in their mind. You've heard the story about Disney, where some guy was asking, hey, it's a pity that, the gentleman who started Disney died before seeing Disney. And then, the one person turns around and says, hey, if he hadn't seen it in his mind, you would not be able to see Disney right now. So self-disciplined people are always looking at being able to visualize consistently. Okay? The next part, and I hope you're taking notes on this one. The next one is be selfish. Now, when I say that, people are like, hey, coach, wait a minute. No, this is what I mean. You have to be extremely selfish for your life first. When you wake up in the morning, the first part of the morning is about you. Guess what? You're the most important person in the world right now. However, when you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you do? How many of us wake up in the morning? Not us. How many of you wake up in the morning? Well, the first thing you do is, pick up your phone and go into messages and go into other people's shit, like I like to call it, excuse the language. Hey, guess what? Be selfish about yourself. Wake up in the morning and let it be about you. Self-discipline and the growth of self-discipline is about becoming selfish for you first. I tell people, look after yourself for the rest of the others. Take time to do the things that you have to do. Again, I go back to not just Tim Ferriss, but all the other top performers. They tell you, you wake up in the morning and you do the Hour of Power from Tony Robbins. What is that about? It's about you. Then there's the other riches where, and I spoke about this in the previous video. Get up, pray, visualize, journal, do what you have to. Again, what is that about? It's about you. Self-disciplined people do not compromise on that. They know that I've got to be selfish in the morning. For me, they don't check mail first thing. No, they study. They do something for them. They put in some good stuff so that by the time they get out in the day, boom, they're good to go. But the important thing is that you've got those small wins. They like to have those small wins because those small wins compound, and before you know it, it's a successful day. And then there's another successful day. Boom, boom, boom. Then all of a sudden, it's a successful week. Then a month. Then a year. Then 2017, epic. Okay? Next one, ladies and gentlemen, they schedule unconditionally. They schedule like crazy. They schedule everything that has to happen in pursuit of their goals. What do I mean? In their calendar, they will schedule everything that must happen for the purposes of ensuring they get their goals moving. Guess what? They have to ensure that they put it in the calendar in terms of, I'm going to write a book, it is going to be in the calendar. I'm going to do this, it has got to be in the calendar. And that particular time is blocked off. Nothing else happens in that time. Nothing else happens. It is one of those things where they have total clarity. There's no randomness in their life. There's no randomness, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this. No. Self-discipline is about knowing today I got to accomplish this. Again, I was just getting some stuff. I think it is Michael Hyatt who was saying, hey, you got to be able to record progress in your life. And you can't do that unless you are productive and you are recognizing that productivity and building it. That means you schedule and say, today I must accomplish this. Nothing else comes in the way until that is done. Now, yes, I know and I appreciate some of us, we work in organizations where, things come up. You're demanded to there's a lot of demands on your time. But I'm saying even during that time where you're working and doing those things, find time to schedule things that make you a person who delivers. I know it's not easy. Sometimes it's hard. But it is during those times when it is hard where you have to step up, where you have to go inside and say, you know what? This is for me. I got to make it work. I got to make it happen. Block that time out so that you take randomness out of it. Then when you block that time out, do something called total focus. Total focus is where you give something 110%, you pursue it until it's success. You do not get any distractions until you achieve it. That is total focus. And that is a rare gem right now in the world that we're living in. Why? There's so much distraction. Self-discipline is about saying, you know what? This is the direction. This is what I'm doing in these times. And I'm going to go and do what I have to do. Next one, ladies and gentlemen, accountability system or accountability partner, whatever you want to call it. Self-discipline is about making sure you find a way to hold yourself accountable. Self-discipline people understand the power of that. Tell somebody, get a coach, call somebody who you say, you know what, I've decided I'm going to do this, I need you to hold me accountable. Or find a system of accountability, put it up there and say, I'm going to get a book written, okay? I put something out in terms of Audacity, I must get Audacity written this year, whether I want to or not. Why? I have decided that I'm going to discipline myself to get that book written. Do whatever it takes to be accountable to somebody in pursuit of your goals, in pursuit of your desires. That will give you the extra edge. That will always keep you working and keep you moving. Why? You know that, hey, somebody's going to ask a question. You know that, hey, somebody will come to check. And because of that, you do what you have to do. Then finally, again, I'll talk about it, a characteristic that I talked about earlier, and I will put it as one way to develop your self-discipline. Include rewards. Include social rewards. Find a way to reward progress consistently, not once in a while. No, every time you do something and it works well, reward yourself. Every time you do something and you go past a milestone, reward yourself. It is important. It is important from your self-discipline point of view, but also from your psychological point of view. Because what? The mind will get happy and it will continue to pursue those things. Then all of a sudden you'll find that you're enjoying the journey, which is what life is about. You and me would agree, wouldn't you? So, hey, there you go, my friend. Those are my points that I wanted to share with you when it comes to self-discipline and ensuring that you create momentum for 2017. But before I finish, I just want to say, it is not going to be easy. But the reason that you're listening to this is because you have decided. To decide is to cut off. You have decided that 2017 is going to be a different year for you. And I am here to say, hey, you know what? It is possible. We can do this. It is during the times, the hardest times, when you're down, when things are not working, that your self-discipline is going to be tested. It is during the times where the money is not there, and the sales are not coming in, and the boss is being a pain in the wrong place, that your self-discipline to pray, to be grateful, to do what you ought to do is going to kick in. And I'm hoping, my friend, that you will step up and say, you know what, if it is humanly possible, then it is up to me. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you a wonderful week. Whatever you do, live strong, live with passion. Most importantly, know that you have the audacity to live life on your terms. Thank you.